Well, thanks, Justin, and thanks, Mike, for the introduction and for bringing us here today again to talk about one of the most exciting areas of policy and practice. My department is responsible for business, energy and industrial strategy, and there couldn't be a better example of the bringing together of multiple different sectors, different players within that, the policy requirements and the strategic requirements that the government should do what it can to facilitate the development of what is going to be, what already is, a transformational set of possibilities. Predicting the future, we know, is notoriously tough. It was in 1894, The Times published a leader column at a time when London transport was dominated by the horse and cart. And they predicted that in 50 years' time, every street in London would be buried under 9 feet of manure. Now, London in 1944 faced many challenges, but that wasn't one of them. The automobile changed everything for the future. And I think it is clear already that it doesn't take much of a gaze into the crystal ball to know that the technology that is already being applied is going to make changes that are even more profound than those that we've experienced in previous decades. More than 1 million vehicles on UK roads are already connected to the internet. The pace of development of self-driving vehicle technology is simply astonishing, as everyone here knows and will be seeing more today. How we respond to these opportunities and this shift is of huge importance. I'm very conscious, as speaking on behalf of the government and the industry, and the SMMT in particular is aware of this. And so the only way that we can do this, or certainly the best way we can do it, is to work together to solve the policy challenges, the research and investment challenges with you in partnership. This has been the way that the success of the automotive sector has been built over recent years. And the years ahead provide an opportunity to deepen that and to invite colleagues in relevant and adjacent sectors to join what has been an enormously successful collaboration. It's worth just pointing out and reinforcing just why the level of interest and excitement in this subject matter is as it is. The video that Mike produced, I think, captures a lot of that. There's the commercial opportunity, and anyone in business will obviously have a keen eye to that, and I'll come on to that. But as that video showed, I think the potential for improving and in some cases transforming people's lives is astonishing. One thing to emphasize is the role of these technologies in saving lives. Nearly 90% of road crashes on our network of roads in this country involve human error. That said, we have some of the safest roads in the world in the UK. But even so, 1,700 people still die on our roads every year. And many more, as we know, are injured and maimed and traumatized by that. Now, over the decades, everyone in this room in the automotive sector has made huge and deliberate strides in improving safety. And the government has supported that through a regulatory environment that has advanced safety standards. So we should, as a nation, be proud of the progress we've made. In 1975, 6,400 people died on our roads. By 1995, that was down to 3,600. And as I said, today the total stands at 1,700. But that is still 30 bereaved families each and every week in this country. And greater automation, greater autonomy and help that we see through these technologies offers the possibility to transform that figure. It also means, as was pointed out in the video, new freedoms for elderly people and those with mobility impairments, opening up aspects of living their lives that have seemed to be off limits in the past, opening up the opportunities that many of us have taken for granted. And even for those of us who drive now, the freedom not to have to while still being able to get about where and when we want to, will be liberating. And then there's the tremendous potential for improvements in productivity, in new investment, in faster growth, right across these technologies. Now, the SMMT and the Automotive Council has a clear view that Mike expressed very forcefully then, that the UK can be a world leader in this transformational field with our strengths not only in automotive but in research and development, when we can be agile and fleet of foot in having the right regulatory conditions in place, then we can put in place and continue the conditions that are making Britain successful here. Companies around the world, of course, making major investments already in this technology, and there is obviously long-term value for the UK as a whole if we can make sure that we punch above our weight in the development and the commercialization of technologies. And it's very evident that if the UK doesn't take this opportunity, there will be many other countries that will be very keen to do so. As part of the industrial strategy that we are working together with the industries in this room on, we've been very clear of the importance of innovations in mobility as a driving force of many of the changes that we think are available and in which we can play this position of leadership. We need to invest as a government together with the industry in this, in the research, but also the skills of the workforce, in the infrastructure that we need to be able to be competitive now and into the future. And we have strength in depth in many of the relevant areas of research, for example, robotics, artificial intelligence, telecommunications. We've got a wonderful history of innovation in the auto sector. UK designers and engineers sought after across the world, many of you here in this room today. And I'm determined that the government will be completely supportive of that, seeking to enable, to encourage, to work closely together, that where barriers are thrown up by discoveries, then we can quickly and decisively remove them and address what might otherwise hold development back. We need to do this in partnership, and we need to do it in partnership not just with the industry, but with our research institutions, with our universities, and our insurers, for example. Some of the most exciting self-driving and connected vehicle demonstration programs anywhere in the world are already happening in the UK, and we saw a snapshot of it there, backed up by £200 million plus of investment from the industry and from government. I think what is particularly interesting about the UK's programme is who is involved in taking the projects forward and what they're trying to achieve. For example, if anyone has time to go down to Greenwich over the next few months, you'll come across a number of fully automated, fully electric shuttles that will be taking people around the peninsula. And it won't be just the technology that's being demonstrated, but actually I think the breadth of partnership that's required to make it work in everyday situations. Yes, of course, software companies such as Oxbotica involved developing the control system software. Yes, vehicle manufacturers such as Westfield, who built the shuttle based on, I think as colleagues here know, the existing design already in operation at Heathrow Airport. Research labs like TRL involved, who've been engaged in automated vehicle research in the UK since the 1950s. But other partners, perhaps the less obvious partners, but absolutely crucial, Greenwich Council, for example, who know that this is an opportunity to help solve problems of urban congestion and to further reinforce the many attractions of Greenwich. The Royal College of Art, who are keen to explore the implications for future vehicle design. If I think back to that great flourishing in South Kensington of the Albertopolis, where you had institutions like the Royal College of Art set up with Imperial College and with the research and the artistic and scientific institutions working side by side on the shared problems of the day. We have just that possibility now. Going back to Greenwich, the insurance company Royal Sun Alliance, who are working closely to assess the implications for the insurance industry through that. So it's a part of a programme that is, and in my view has to be, collaborative by design, with the brightest minds from our universities working in partnership with the different industries and those parts of the public sector that are needed to anticipate challenges and to seize opportunities. I'm very conscious that central government has a vital role too, not least by assuring that we have the right regulatory framework to enable the development before others of this technology. The UK, I think as many people here in the room know, is one of the first countries in the world to set out a framework for the testing of automated vehicles on public roads. And those of us like Justin that have had some experience of that, I think are excited by it. And I think if our fellow citizens could see that this is not just about the future, but is available now, I think the sense of excitement around this would be higher still. Safety, of course, is a primary concern, and our code of practice sets out how we think developers should act to ensure this. But we've got to be careful and have taken care to design a framework that is supportive of a technology that has the potential to save lives. As I was saying, most of the advances here are positively contributing to a safer world, and we should approach regulation with that in mind. Because I think an excessively cautious approach would risk stifling this potential and ultimately cost lives. And on the subject of risk, Mike has referred to the Vehicle Technology and Aviation Bill currently going through Parliament, which addresses the issue of insurance for the developing market. The bill ensures that those affected by collisions, whether caused by a human driver or their automated vehicle, are financially protected. And the vital point is that for affected individuals, the insurance process should feel more or less the same. It shouldn't be alien to them. Motorists and victims of collisions should not be forced to go to court to claim compensation. They'll have the benefit of fast and fair insurance compensation just as they do today. And that'll be vital, it seems to me, to advance the commercial sales of the vehicles in this area. And over the coming years, we'll take forward a programme of regulatory reform to ensure that we stay up to date as the technology evolves. The commitment is this: as challenges are thrown up, we will quickly and with agility work with you to overcome them, so we maintain our position as one of the best places in the world to carry out this research and development. Of course, more will need to be done, and that's why we need to have this close and continuous engagement. One of the other big things that central government can do is to provide direct support for the development and testing of CAV technology in the UK. And that's why a few months ago in the autumn statement, as part of our industrial strategy, the government made a commitment to invest £100 million of new investment to be match funded by industry. And today I'm delighted to announce the first £55 million phase of competition funding will begin early next month. Last summer, some of you responded to the invitation when we asked stakeholders for their views about the UK testing infrastructure for connected and autonomous vehicles. You told us that the UK could do something genuinely unique and in the process create the world's most effective CAV testing cluster. And this is how you told us that it could be done. First, by coordinating our existing, in many cases, world-class assets into a coherent national ecosystem. So one asset reinforcing and complementing another. Secondly, capitalising on our ability to test anywhere, enabling end-to-end testing across virtual, controlled and public environments. Third, by removing barriers to entry for SMEs and startups with fairly priced access to this comprehensive testing environment and to support them in making the best use of this. I'm conscious that as well as the major players, we have new insurgents who may not have access to the same degree of infrastructure. But if we can make it available to them, then this offers manifold opportunities for them, for the country, and for the bigger OEMs. And finally, by concentrating investment where it can make the most difference, building up facilities and capacities that can serve as a one-stop shop for UK innovators and international partners. And so following the advice that we've been given in recent months, we have decided to focus on the broad cluster of excellence between London and Birmingham to make sure that we can capitalise on the strengths of test tracks like Millbrook and Myra, the science parks like Culham and Cranfield, and that places, whether it's Greenwich that I mentioned, Coventry and Milton Keynes, they can work together with all of the institutions, all of the test tracks, all of the research facilities, and come together to be a place where everything is available relatively close at hand. Ultimately, the only way to benefit the country as a whole is to use this stage of investment to establish Britain unambiguously as the best place in the world to work on CAV technology. In doing so, our ambition is not just to demonstrate excellence in this field, but in doing so to provide an exemplar, and I think this sector couldn't be a better exemplar, of what a modern industrial strategy, looking at the convergence and the common interests between sectors, technologies, industries that were previously separated in silos, but actually become one. We want to be ahead of that and to plan through the industrial strategy the facilities and the regulatory conditions for that to take the place. So this is both a hugely important opportunity in itself, but it is also, in a sense, a testbed for other approaches to the industrial strategy in other sectors. And I'm determined that we will make a huge success of it so that we can apply it elsewhere. Of course, many challenges remain on this journey. There will be ups and downs, and it's important that we have a relationship, that we can work together, that we'll work hard collaboratively to overcome obstacles and barriers, many of which may not be obvious just at the moment. But it seems clear to me, someone that's come into to this role and got to know pretty well the automotive sector and many of the researchers and suppliers in this field over the years, the opportunity is immense. The industrial opportunity, the opportunity to change the lives of our citizens. We are, I think, in this country, a nation with a justified reputation for innovation, for entrepreneurship, for being makers as well as traders. We always have been, and we always will be. It's a history that I think has united us and I think can guide our future too. So if we can't predict the future in terms of mobility, we can certainly work together, and we can be the ones who, if we do this, I think can create it here, and others can follow our example. Thank you very much indeed for asking me to open the conference.